bunch of elites in to explain to them that this is your clone. It doesn't have a brain, don't worry. Just as Prince Andrew was worried, but in reality, they do have a brain. Here's a clip.
The human organism, unique in all the universe in its complexity, the product of 3 billion years of evolution, perfect in every way, except one. Like all machines, it wears out. For centuries, the idea of replenishing the human body has been at the forefront of modern science.
I think we need to turn this bad day into a good day. A great day, a terrific day by selling. By selling, sell. You start, I finish.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next generation of science, the Agnet. An organic frame engineered directly into adulthood to match the client's age. You're looking at stage 1, its development. Within 12 months, it will be harvest ready, providing a carrier for your baby, a second pair of lungs, fresh skin, all genetically indistinguishable from your own. And in compliance with the eugenics laws of 2015, all our agnates are maintained in a persistent vegetative state. They never achieve consciousness. They never think or suffer or feel pain, joy, love, hate. It's a product, ladies and gentlemen, in every way that matters. Not human.
But there are the two escaped clones.
This is our public relations director, Mr. Whitman. He'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Once again, thank you.
I want to talk about the smartest investment you'll ever make. And I want to tell you how you're going to live 60 to 70 years longer.
Dr. Merrick, Albert Laurent, Black Hawk Security.
Become highly recommended by the Defense Department, Mr. Laurent. Though I'm unaware of your personal qualifications.
My men are ex-Delta Force, SEALs. I was formerly with the GIG of the French Special Forces. I understand you had a corporate theft.
Yes, that's what I told the Defense Department. The reality is a little more complex. That's why I require your services. We've had a security breach.
Have the Defense Department...
Notice they don't consider them human. That's their loophole.
Because they're
Just like the Virginia governor when they would take the babies away from their farm.
And that's why they make these new designer humans they're already doing.
And I can't...
They can claim they don't have rights or claim they do. They can jump back and forth. Now they're saying AI has rights. Now AI has its own chatbots, its own secret forums debating itself and talking bad about us.
Two of our products have escaped.
Impressive, considering the vegetarians.
Well, some of you have already discovered that without consciousness, without human experience, emotion, without life,
One of much bigger than Epstein's, huge medical facilities. And it's true, anybody that took biology, even in high school, know what is a white person. Well, white, blue eyes, white skin, that's recessive. Dark hair, black skin is dominant. That's the original gene coding. And it's strange enough, it's the same in horses or cows or anything. And so, you've got a dominant cell line, and then if you impregnate a Central African woman, that's the strongest genes there are, with your genes, whether you're black or white, whatever, then if your body won't reject it or fully absorb it, this is on record, and last 100 times, they don't know it's exponential life extension. I mean, Nygaard was 80-something years old, looked like he was 50, his body. He's in prison right now because he would get these black women pregnant. Reportedly, he bragged about it. He liked to do it personally. But most of the guys would just send their sperm and they would put it in a petri dish, get the egg fertilized, and then they would put it in these black women, and then they would kill the baby at 8 months and take its bone marrow, blood, everything, and inject it into Nygaard. He said all of this. Hanging his big buddies in that Georgia Water Bush client notes. So here he is with black supermodels trying to pitch them. They're all grossed out. But they would just ship in, and obviously the Caribbean is full of folks from Africa as well. But this is what they would do. And then that's in the new emails with Epstein and Zora Ranch admitting surrogates and girls having babies that they would sign over. And then now we have the witness reports going back over the years. Same thing. So it's all confirmed now. And that's all in this 3 million documents. Okay, so remember, all you hear about is Trump's guilty, he's involved, blah, blah, with no evidence. If he is, we'll go after him. My frustration is that Trump's not going after them for this. That's where he's guilty. No one wants to talk about that. So, go ahead, Thomas.
It's like I'm going to the grocery store, right? You have the heirloom eggs, and they're blue and yellow, and
Exactly.
they have the most nutrients as opposed to another egg.
That's right,
That's
black
what they're
people, you're
doing.
the heirloom egg.
Yes, exactly. They have the heirloom egg. You're going to get the most nutrients, and from their point of view, what they're looking for, that's what they want. Which is strange because even in these Epstein emails, he seems to really want to stay away from blacks when it comes to sexually, but I'm sure he knew the same information that Nygaard did and was tapped into splicing and doing stuff with their genetics. But apparently he didn't sexually fantasize blacks.
God, people that don't know biology, this is a fact how this works, okay? And it's not like X-Men, it's not bad to be a mutant. You'll see like the black nationalists and the black Israelites, they'll go, you're mutants, you're a capable mutant. Well, it's true, like people went up to the frozen north and it was super dangerous, and if you didn't have long-term pre-planning and all sorts of organizational skills, you would die. In sub-Saharan areas and equatorial areas, it's all about how fast you are, how strong you are. It's all about plenty of food. You go into half the year, it's way below zero. That's why there's associated higher IQs and all that stuff. If you go north, whether it's Asians or whatever, it's because it was selectively so dangerous. But it did cause mutations off the original hard coding.
A lot of Ashkenazi Jews actually had a
was formerly with the GIG and French Special Forces. I understand you had a corporate theft.
Yes, that's what I told the Defense Department. The reality is a little more complex. That's why I require your services. We've had a security breach.
You have the Defense Department at your disposal. Why call me?
Because their investment here is sizable. $120 billion to be exact. And I can't afford for them to reconsider.
What you tell them is your business, Doctor. I am in the business of keeping my clients' confidence.
Good. Two of our products have escaped.
Impressive, considering they're vegetative.
Well, after several years of trial and error, we discovered that without consciousness, without human experience, motion, without life, the organs failed.
How long have they been missing?
4 hours and 36 minutes.
They're on foot?
Yes.
Wade, 1.2 miles an hour, 5-mile perimeter. Stand by for suspect description.
We're on it. Follow me.
Come on, we gotta keep going.
No, stop. I can't run anymore.
We gotta try, come on.
Where?
Anywhere from here.
But there's nothing. Everything's dead, Lincoln. What if we are contaminated?
Then we'd be dead. There's no contamination. It was a lie.
What is it?
I don't know. But it's alive. Come on. It's mean, whatever it is. Let's rest in here.
Jordan 2 Delta's sponsor, Sarah Jordan, is in a coma after a car accident. She's in need of multiple organ transplants.
How long does she have?
48 hours, 3 days maximum.
Tell me about Six Echo.
Well, he was really the first one to question his environment, his whole existence here. Over the last few months, he began demonstrating unstable behavior, and I can't account for it. I'm waiting on the result of his synaptic scan.
What do they know about the outside world?
Very little. We control them with the memory of a shared event. A global contamination keeps them fearful of going outside. The island is the one thing that gives them hope. Gives them purpose. Everything we
We
expose.
should, Thomas, you and I want to do this more. Me and Dude did this last week. It was really popular. People liked it. We did a review of One Battle After Another, kind of mystery science theater thing. We need to do this and actually just watch the whole movie and review it. This is so powerful. I've watched the movie like 8 times, 9 times or more, maybe 10 over the years. But at the end, they learned that there's an electromagnetic sixth sense communication, which we now know our brains have. That's how ducks can fly 5,000 miles or whatever, land in a place they were never born. And then butterflies, monarchs, hummingbirds, that they start downloading through the ether the memories and not just instincts, but live time from their clones, or the clones get in. So that's why I finally ended the project in movie. So it's next level information. And of course, then he's heavily implicated, not just by one of the victims, but others, heavily involved. So he's able to go make these movies that at every level tell you what's going on. And notice there's a viral release in Warren. They're supposed to kill everything with surface terrorists that live in bunkers. But if you're really good, you get to leave the bunker and go to the island. Well, really, you're being killed and have your organs taken. Well, that's what they talk about in here, releasing a virus for control of making money. It's in the WEF documents where they say, we're going to use this to permanently train people to be locked down. If you have permission to leave their house with their phone. Germany, New Zealand, places did it. They're telling you everything in this movie, and then
Ghislaine Maxwell's younger sister is the chief director of technology for the World Economic Forum. And, I mean, there's all over the email.
Ghislaine was made the head of the UN Ocean Treaty.
Yes. I mean, all over the emails, he's talking about corresponding with people from Davos and making sure that, you know, his goals are achieved. Basically, he has his people in there, and they're planning their world government and vaccines.
I've always said Epstein's like a mayor deal, a mayor of a hotel or a party. He's like the star, but he's got a low level. But he's really high level. Because all these weirdos, he was in like a symphony of time altogether.
Because he has access to so much money and so many world leaders. You know,
And he said
the bag.
He said, I am the main one. So the quadrillions. So that's why he's the boss.
And there's a quote where he even said he'd like to come back as a virus. Just like was it King?
It was King Charles's dad,
Charles'
Prince
dad.
Philip.
Yeah, Prince
He
Philip.
told Ottoman Society and two other newspapers the similar quote. Well, I haven't seen it. Oh, I don't know what the Bible's called.
Yeah.
Wow, see. Wow.
And he dies, and then a couple months later, the virus comes out.
It's just unbelievable. These people are playing God, and it's totally insane.
Satanic. It's very satanic to
No, it is.
clone people and all the things that they're trying to achieve is definitely playing God.
All right, so since I mentioned it, here's Peter Nygaard in prison for this now. And you know all the details of it. Getting black women to have babies with them. It's your kid, so you don't reject the cells, so you just suck the kid dry and kill it. This is vampires that bring their own children. Here it is.
The stem cell technology that Peter and I invested in is called SCNP, which takes the egg of a young, perfect woman specimen, takes the egg and takes out the nucleus and puts our DNA in the nucleus. They just go ahead and take it out.
It's painful, right?
Huh?
Is it painful?
Yeah, a little bit. And this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet. These curvy, sexy black women from Africa. You girls have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection. And we want some of that. So, girls, for $100, we will pay you for your egg. So how much do you want for it? Let's bid. I'll bid $500, but you know, whatever I bid, he's got to shoot.
This is the oldest trick in the book, okay? So it's like, I haven't done this, but I read about it. So you want to get your wife with the neighbor chick, whatever. It's like, have them over, have a few drinks. Oh, let's try on lingerie and have a lingerie judging contest. It's the same thing. Like, hey, ladies, how much for your egg? No, they don't want the egg. They want to impregnate you, have you bring it to term, suck the baby dry. That's he's in prison for it. So just think out there selling them. Of course, they're totally grossed out. These are supermodels. They don't do it. But this is what they got people to do. Continue.
About $60,000 of the eggs. Yeah. If you have abortion, that's very valuable. Umbilical cord, you know, and the placenta, even your period blood.
These black women are getting grossed out like anybody would. They're at a table. He looks like Count Dracula from the remake of the 90s. And he's literally like an abortion. He's literally like, and this is, go back to it.
That's very valuable. Umbilical cord, and the placenta, even your period blood is so rich with stem cells. When we were gathered as waste.
Pause. Hold on the abortion part. Back up for a second. And notice he's literally getting excited when and then we have all the videos of him being injected with the blood of his dead kids. I mean, it's in the show. They put this on TV.
And he's saying that the period blood is rich in stem cells. So, do you think he was just drinking it, or was there some type of process he would use the period
Well,
blood
that's what the zygote, once the egg is dividing with the sperm, goes down and roots in and does it. It is. But he says abortion, umbilical cord, and he goes period blood, It's like when in the remake of Dracula, he like, oh, you cut yourself. He was, oh, the blood. It's literally a real vampire. Here it is. Yeah, there it is.
You can get paid a lot more than that.
So how much do you want for it? Let's bid.
Yeah, but we
I bid $500 for you know. I'm prepared to outbid him anyway. Whatever I bid, he's gonna outbid me. I bought about $60,000 worth of eggs. Yeah. If you have abortion, that's very valuable. Umbilical cord, placenta, even your period blood is so rich with stem cells. We regard it as waste, and it actually should be. It should be captured and recycled, and it shouldn't go to waste. It's life for somebody,
Him.
And it's life
And
for
George Herbert Bush.
No, the best eggs are 16 to 18 years old. Those are the best eggs. Don't know
Oh, 16 to 18 year old.
I'm thinking.
So you may not be our top candidate.
No, that's fine. I don't like business anyway.
And then he slaps him around with him. By the way, you women are like 30. I want 16-year-olds. I mean, folks. And then he did it with a huge medical facility. So understand, we in 2026, we're like at 2050 and vampires run. These are literal vampires.
And the young girl that is on record that he actually took his own child, he had a child with a 14-year-old, and he was taking the stem cells from that baby. I think they brought it to term maybe 8 months, I believe, and then started taking the cells right from the baby and injecting it into himself. He personally did it.
Well, that's when they kept it alive, they told. So he's milking the baby.
Yes.
This is beyond selfishness, folks. And notice the women are disgusted. He goes, by the way, you're too old. I don't want you.
And in these documents,
The women go, that's fine. This ain't our business.
in these Epstein documents, in the
Matt,
emails,
it's not like I want to have a great life with you. I want to travel the world. I want to, do good things. No, I want your blood. Go ahead.
there's a lot of studies on genetic editing. It ties into cloning and the viruses and stuff and vaccines, but
This is in the Epstein files.
yes, here they're talking about stem cells, but they're going into the cloning because at face value it's about stem cells, and you go into it, then they start talking about human cloning, and they're trying to clone monkeys, and they're using stem cells, but they're finding they have to use the fetal cells. They need the actual fetus. They can't just do it from a regular stem cell. So, I mean, they were cloning them. They were getting it done. I don't know how long this has been going on for. I mean, some might say the 80s or 90s, but
Well, in the Nazis, it's declassified 12 rabbits and 43.
right. And I mean, as far as human beings, if you can identify them as non-human, then there's a certain gray
Well,
area.
they do. They say the studies, the bioethicists, the Pentagon folks, MIT and others say that if it's 1%, plus they don't want the cows, the artificial one that they use, boars on the side of them, you grow a humanoid part bovine, so you can argue it isn't, it doesn't exist. It's a chimera.
Exactly. So mix them with monkeys, pigs. Here, pigs is a big one.
Yeah, pigs have a less rejection.
Very similar to humans. That's why they use pigs for ballistic testing and all that.
There's less rejection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they just use rats because they're cheaper, but there's nothing that affects pigs in any test of any drug that's close to stuff. I mean, just look at this stuff. Look at this guy.
And it was actually Chris Hansen with Peter Nygaard's son that actually took him down.
That's right. Nygaard's son came out and got him.
And there was a
By the way, get Nygaard's son on, guys. Get Nygaard's son.
Speaking of Chris Hansen, there's a documentary on Paramount out right now where they're defending all the pedophiles that are into Catch a Predator, blaming NBC or whoever ran the program because there was a DA that killed himself when they went to raid his house. It was a DA that was trying to meet with a young boy. They found child porn all over his house. Well, they said because he killed himself, they wanted to end that show, and Chris Hansen's terrible, and we should have sympathy for these pedophiles. That just came out like a month ago. insane.
Incredible. All right, we're going to go to break. I want to get into the pandemic news and releasing the viruses and controlling it. Then the new big breaking news. They're in the email to Epstein at home at dead bodies of girls they killed at Zorro Ranch in New Mexico. Where's the DOJ out there exhuming all this right now? Are we going to have to go out there and do it ourselves? Yeah, we're not going to wait much longer. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Nitric Boost, the all-time fan favorite, is now back in stock at InfoWarsStore.com. You've looked at our product. You like it?
I did, and I do. Yes. Well, nitric oxide is a key. It's made by our own bodies again. It's made by L-citrulline and L-arginine, the amino acids.
And now, a major shift is finally coming again for those of you who want to be able to stock up on it at InfoWarsStore.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay made this without me even knowing he'd gotten it and used it. Came on years ago and said, this was the best protein detox found.
Just like you want your own body to make vitamin D from the sunlight, you can't force it down. In people who can't make it, it can actually hurt them. It's called oxynitrites. So you want to boost your own body's ability. The nitric oxide will relax the endothelium, the vasculature. It relaxes the vein. So I use the two. Your InfoWars, I keep that on my shelf, and I feed myself the Cardio Miracle, which is just straight food. It's a formulation than that one, and the two together are a 1-2 punch. So you get in your food the ability to make what you need and no more.
Because of the organic-based compounds that are in it that cause vasodilation in the blood vessels, in the arteries, in the veins, in the capillaries. And it just does so many other great things.
So constricted blood vessels too, because athletes are running, they're constricted, they're working so that the blood flows, and it doesn't flow, which is why your nitric oxide product, that new products, I hope you'll show it, because that's a very important thing to have for acute events. Dissolve under the tongue, give you an instant relaxing of your endothelium, your vasculature.
Now listen, it is already a nationwide best-selling bodybuilding product for over 20 years. Bodybuilders take us, it helps grow muscles and better workouts and things.
Challenge.
I was just researching and wanting to put something out that was good for the heart, and talked to a lot of scientists and researchers I knew, and they said, well, these are the type of ingredients we were thinking about putting out a product. When I talked to formulators, they said, well, we actually already have a product that has that, so we private labeled it.
Let your desire for victory
And
take
just
you
remember,
beyond
in the morning when you wake up, that's the big thing people feel and see right away. So imagine what else is good for your body.
Battle
So those of you that
one.
love nitric boost, you can get it right now at InfoWarsStore.com. For those that haven't tried nitric boost, you are really missing out. Secure your nitric boost right now at InfoWarsStore.com. Battling on the field, we're still here. A year after the Onion said they would. We might actually hold on and win. The shipments are going out, and you can get your product. But if you don't order and support us, we'll be off the air. So it's a paradox. Please take action now at InfoWarsStore.com. shots. In 2017, Bill Gates discussed plans for pandemic simulations with Jeffrey Epstein. Email describes the idea of reference proposed projects such as simulated outbreak scenarios, expanded health data infrastructure, and neurotechnology research potentially used for national security. And then it goes into all of it here about the business of it and lockdowns and controls and changing society and world internet IDs and a whole new system, getting rid of the old system through this. The Epstein files eliminate a 20-year architecture behind pandemics as the business model of Bill Gates at the center of the network, going and buying off big regulators, international, national, doing illegal testing on people.
Take you beyond your limits.
This is all what we're dealing with here. So this goes on and on.
You say something?
And people battle this out, Thomas.
And isn't Bill Gates on record today saying that he stopped before that date that's in that email? So, I mean, he's clearly lying. He's heavily invested in all the industry media groups. They do little puff pieces for him. Yes, he does. And that was a very, very sad attempt to control, and it's just a bold-faced lie. They're out. They continue to work with him. Almost to the very end there. Congress to bring him in. I've heard Nancy Mace is trying to get him to testify before Congress. We need to
more pandemic JP Morgan plan pandemic profit for the company. Keep like 3 years ago got the head of mRNA Pfizer. Self, we made COVID. We released new variants. It's a guaranteed benefit. Battle 4. We're fighting. Still DOJ documents from 2011. Email pointing out sophisticated playbook on the pandemic financial structure. That's all how they'll make all the keeping it secret. Pretty sick, huh? And again, we already knew all of this. So, where's
Well, she's supposed to be involved with
Blessings for those who have repeatedly escaped the clutch.
Pfizer money? Her and lobbying firm.
I know this is a little bit off topic, but I just wanted to bring up that I never thought he killed himself or died in general since it first broke. I immediately thought that they broke him out of prison, and you...
Well, let's stop there. It's not off topic. That's a huge stack. Let's go to that now, because now Congress is looking at this. This is coming
Challenge
out.
your
Let's get
limits.
Dr. McCam over here, please. Pull up the HD shots in there for everybody. And let's start talking about this. Now let's pull out a little bit there. There we go. That's nice. That's off our printer, but let's pull up the HD of all this. He has this tattoo here, but when he's dead outside the federal facility 5 years ago in D.C. or in New York, we don't see the tattoo. And then now we have somebody that looks just like him that's related to Hillary Rodham Clinton, who died. Battle 1. Fight. The years. Let's go over now.
So, in the DOJ office, he is known to have a tattoo. His body right now came out. He has no tattoo on his arm. And there's, I don't see his scar that shows that it was removed. And his face, I mean, he allegedly hung himself.
Start. See the garage line there. Fight. And that's the same. And you do not see the tattoo photos. We have photos of the right side where they didn't put a sheet over him when he's dead. They didn't only do that. That famous. So we walk through this. What people are saying is
So Thomas is on it. Here's a pic of his tattoo of the Epstein file. Patrick Byrne called this out.
federal facility. And in these other photos, he doesn't have to.
The whole design does not match up at all. And so there's someone looks like him on the island in 2023. What the hell is that? And what's he doing on the island? Why does he look so similar to Jeffrey Epstein? Looks like something to wear. Looks like he's giving them orders on what to do on the island too. He's pointing at them, telling where to go, where. So I mean,
The battle is over. Show respect for the fallen who fought so bravely.
so Tony